Guys, we are here with Nicole. Nicole is a local, and gosh, how did you hear about me? Instagram, the gram, amazing. So Nicole reached out, has been to how many different people? Everyone.
It's countless over the past few years.
Yeah.
Chiropractors, different physical therapists, a 92-year-old lady who specialized in scoliosis.
Amazing. So
acupuncturist, everybody.
So we're dealing with scoliosis, metal rod in your back, and just walk towards me for a second. I just want to see everything. Okay, perfect. So yeah, what you were explaining, it looks like your hip is attached and your ribs are sitting down on your hip, and how you explained.
Yeah, and I don't shift this hip down. There was one physical therapist who I loved, and I had a lot of progress with him, but I don't see him anymore.
Okay.
And
Will you come out here? I just want to watch you walk back and forth, because I think if this is one thing we can correct for you, to where your hips aren't connected to your ribs and your back, it's going to bring you so much relief. And then obviously your upper body, we have to like take pressure off of too.
I'm always sort of uptight.
Yeah, well, you're just trying to keep your body in position. Plus you have metal rods in your back. So God bless you for, you know.
For years I was fine with the rods, but not lately. So what happens is I don't shift this hip down. It's just kind of like this stiff leg thing. So, but when I was with this one physical therapist, like we really worked on, I would have to go really slow and then shift the hip down. And if I did it like super slow, I couldn't walk. But right now it's just so painful.
This whole hip right here, right?
Yeah, it's so painful here. But now my hamstrings are this. I get a weird, almost Charlie horse here.
Okay.
My adductors, I used to be able to not do a full split, but I could at least separate my legs and get my head on the floor.
Wow.
And my elbows on the floor, because I was always doing yoga.
Okay.
I forget it. Like this is it. Maybe I can go a little further.
Okay.
So I can't separate. This is all tight in here.
Yeah.
I'm still flexible in some way, oddly, some ways.
Great.
I'm flexible, but like,
but everything's just totally glued together there.
And like in yoga, when you want to bring this knee to your armpit when you're laying here, can't bring. That was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, I can't bring this knee to my armpit anymore. That's weird. There's my hips. There's the rod, and there's that, and then it gets curved at the top too. So they put this rod in me when I was 11. Now, I thought the rod was supposed to expand, but you can see it bulges out here. So I was still growing. Like, where was the spine going to go? But then I'm like, well, if the rod wasn't there, would I be even worse?
How long ago is this x-ray?
3 years.
Okay.
And that's the first x-ray I got since I was 12 years old, because I refused to look.
Now, am I looking from the front view or the rear view?
Oh, okay. That's my right hip right here.
Okay. So
that's my right hip.
Once we unlock this entire hip here, this is going to have a reason to like, oh, I no longer need to be coiled over there. And then this whole section here, which is pulled, I need to release, because that's probably, your hip is probably stuck somewhere over in your belly button psoas area.
Okay.
So you're going to feel from the outside in, little by little, like literal, that's why I call it surgery without the knife, because we're going to, every single fascial line that's glued together, we're going to be peeling one by one by one.
Okay.
So this is going to be awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. And then face the wall. Okay. And then face the cabinets. You guys, so as you can see, Nicole is in a very severe situation. I've got 3 hours. So there's a fine line between allowing her to get deep relaxive state so I can get tissue moved, and there's 3 hours. Look at this poor soul. She needs probably 10. So my goal is to be as effective as I can, and also start correcting some of these patterns. So as she leaves, she can immediately apply these and not only hold the results, but get a little bit further after with her corrective work, with her stretching, with her yoga, and all the stuff that she's been doing aside from this. So let's see what we can do. 3 hours. So they taught me a little bit of their healing out there too. And very special people, yeah. In fact, this is now a Shahu, the daughter of the chief, singing. So it actually kind of activates the medicine in me. I get goosebumps. And all right, so I want you to take a couple of nice deep breaths. Envision a white light coming in through your crown. Holding it for a second. And then letting it relax your whole body. I swam with dolphins on vacation once, and it was pretty amazing. One of my clients was a biologist years ago, or I guess a biology major, and he was telling me that dolphins are the closest anatomical structure to humans. And, you know, I've had research, I've read that they used to do in-water births with dolphins. Well, it's hard to be active when you're, you know, you can hardly sneeze or your entire body might go into a spasm, you know, so. Well, I mean, hey, if you're gonna party. Sounds like she knew how to party. That's awesome. God bless Mom. Exactly. Well, I can see it. I mean, I've been doing this such a long time that, you know, when you look at how the muscle contours, a lot of times people don't realize, well, you're like, listen, you're allowed to hurt me, but don't you dare tickle me. Yeah. Yeah, my toughest clients laugh. Like, that is so painful. Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, it's stuck energy. Yeah, I'd have some of my female bodybuilder clients were the same way. They were so tough, they're just laugh. I dated a gal once who would laugh hysterically when she was in pain. And she was super tough and in very good shape. And she'd come to my boot camp classes with my females, and they would hate her because she was in the best shape. And I'd basically wait till she was like full on laughing in hysterics. And by that point, everyone else was like laying on the floor. And it was wild. It was pretty entertaining. That's the only tough thing. It really boils down to each particular individual. And I said this to my mom. I said, Mom, why don't you try physical therapy? She said, you know, I did. And every time I went, I was in more freaking pain. And when I stopped, I wasn't in pain anymore. So based on that assessment, I'm not freaking going back. I'm like, okay, I get it. So, but other modalities make her feel good. So she does the other ones. One just so happens to be seeing a massage therapist. So, and she does all these other corrective exercises at home. So she is doing the work. But like you said, she was not happy with the level of service because it was generic, and she could have basically done all the exercises at home. And she didn't, you know, it's one thing if they're using K lasers and all this stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't want to go any harder, right? Can't go any less. See, the fact that you just lowered that leg and your whole upper body didn't really seem to move. Like, I'm not gonna get excited yet, but I'd love a full day with you, but I think 3 hours is gonna be way plenty for your first, like, what just happened?
Like a full day? 3 hours, I've never had a 3 hour anything.
I have people who fly in for 30, sometimes it's crazy. But over like a week or two. 12, 18 to 24.
At once? Or that's over?
Over a week or two.
Oh, I see.
Only in severe cases.
Oh. How severe is this relatively compared to what you see? Pretty severe?
Well,
I thought it was severe.
I'd say so. I mean, I don't look at it that way. To me, it's like, this is awesome, but it's very severe.
It's a puzzle.
Okay, yeah, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle that, like, where else are you going to go to get it solved? Right? That's what I like to be. Because when I see a case like yours, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Let's do this. Yeah. Because I can see the finished product in my head. I just see you as normal with a few imbalances,
Okay.
right? So I kind of look at like the way they say, you know, Jesus did. He's just like, yeah, everything's fine. You just got this thing, and let's get back to being normal. Yeah. So you're not doing something that your body trusts.
Yeah.
That is another huge, huge thing. Back and let it out.
It is better.
Better, yeah. One more time. Okay.
I could feel a major difference. I'll tell you where I feel it. Well, I feel a major difference all around. It's
right, localized right here, right?
Doesn't hurt as much.
Not like
exponentially
stinging, right?
Right.
Perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah. And to be honest, I can feel it in the same places, but it's mild. Like it's
so that's where we got to keep rolling.
Okay.
Because now it's open. So let me hit
now
this
I feel
one
this
quick.
one drastically. Now I feel the difference. I thought this one was worse. Okay. But
yep.
This one's now worse.
Yes. Oh. Well, that's because of how
this
bad they both were. So now you can see how hooked they were, right? Yeah. You drop one side, then whoa, this side, drop the other side. So now we drop both, and holy shit, I can roll every day. I can stretch every day. I can do my basic exercises. And that way, when you come back, we get twice as far.
Okay.
On your collarbones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about to be a little taller because this shoulder is currently glued to your collarbone.
Oh.
Like an inch deep. And it was rotating it forward because it feels like your shoulder was like nearly out of socket. I have no freaking clue because we have already established you're a warrior. But what's messed up is how used to being in pain you got.
Oh, totally, 100%.
That's why I chuckle people who like are in pain their whole life come and see me and they leave. I'm like, well, I still have some discomfort. I'm like, you've been in pain for 30 freaking years, bro. We had like a couple hours, you know, like, no shit, you know, like, you don't say. Now the goal is to obviously remove it, but
yeah.
Some guy was like, oh, Mr. Bluff, my shoulder. And he was this huge dude and his shoulder's like rotated forward. He's like, it still hurts. I'm like, yeah, I know, you need more treatment. I'm not Jesus. He's like, well, I thought you were Jesus. I'm like, well, now we've corrected. Like, I'm not. There's only one Jesus. Miracles take 2 treatments. So yeah, careful as you move because you might be a little like floaty right now.
I feel floaty.
I don't remember pressing down before.
You didn't.
But if I don't press down, then we got an inch. But if I press down on your head,
yeah,
which we didn't before. We didn't before. So technically we have we started here, and this is when I pressed down, this is where I didn't. So basically we got an entire square.
Okay. Yeah.
I got stretched out this morning and my legs feel really light.
It does feel a little different. Now when I do it, still like it's sore here when I go free on this.
Yep.
I'm very used to, I feel the difference.
Yep.
I just
you're not used to it yet.
I'm not used
to
it, and I'm still used to living and doing.
Right. So now you're going to be able to move those hips. So it's just good. That's why I think riding the bike would be amazing because it's going to allow your hips stability. But
because what I have to tell myself is this is where it hurts right here.
Mm-hmm.
So when I step,
yep,
and then I normally like shift this.
Right.
So I need to shift this down, and that's
right.
Sore right here.
Shift
that down.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's why I use the stick.
Totally.
To take pressure off of this one.
Totally.
I have to put it on this side.
No, that's whichever one you want here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so boom. And
then you can use your stick. That's totally fine. Because what you're doing, it's okay for now, because what you're doing is allowing yourself to not have to walk with unhealthy patterns.
Right.
So that stick is taking away you having worse discomfort until, and now you get home, you're going to be able to stretch and get more pliability. Yes.
Okay.
And a little bit of, obviously, you know, your PT exercises and strengthening and doing all this stuff now that you can, because there's no way before your hip was like up here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so because I used this for a long time and then I got sick and I'm like, forget it, I'm not using it